I mentioned doors I open in the last video, so I'm going to try to stick to the program of it's kind of like writing a 4-step. For those of you that have been in the program, I'll consider this like my 4-step before my 5150, 5250, and the doors I open there leading to my divorce and then after my divorce. So what a privilege to be able to do this. So, mentioning doors, I mentioned insecurities due to my erectile dysfunction, due to not finding my self-worth after my dad suddenly passed away in September of 2016. Feeling insecure about myself because going through some problems with my body that have to do with neck surgeries, opiate addiction, and other diseases that I developed as a result of erectile dysfunction being one of those diseases, pituitary gland issues, things like that. Like all those issues just due to my central nervous system being depressed from the morphine and doors that I opened through. So I want to talk about people that are evil, not just people that are demon possessed, that demons of each of ours can work through, I'm talking about evil people. I'll give you an example. I talked about the man I went to go visit who I was going to score the gear from. I said, I don't know why he would do that, show up without it, knowing I'm going to come get it, because of one reason. He loves to dominate and control situations and people. It's got to be on his terms, and he's going to dominate and he's going to control it. He's very psychological and very physical. And if anything, those are the kind of people that make it in this world. People that can manage their bankrolls, people that can manage this. Those are the kind of people that are going to make it in this world. As long as they don't go and abuse others like the love of my life sister's man did. He had great ability. He's a very intelligent guy. The love of my life's sister's man. Very intelligent guy, very hardworking guy, great at anything he could get involved in for many reasons. This guy is just like that, very passionate, powerful, and just very on many levels. But the evil, you want to be evil to men? No problem. Be evil to men. Be evil to me. Be evil to any man, but at the end of the day, and I did play the victim when men have been evil to me, and that hurt my relationship with the love of my life. It hurt the relationship with my ex-wife. It hurt the relationship with the love of my life's baby sister. I'll refer to her as her younger sister. She's an adult grown woman, but my soul sister. It hurt my evil that men have practiced with me, because I was not, I'll quote it, I'm not like FBG Butta, who has hands, and he says, I'm a savage. Yes, he's a savage. And this man that is the love of my life's sister's man is like FBG Butta in a sense, on those lines. I'm not that way. Now I'm not saying I can't bring it to a dude. Oh, I can. But it's not that way. And I have a lot of mileage on this vessel, and I'm old. And when I met the love of my life, as I said, I was broken. And I wanted to give love one last chance. And I got online while I was homeless. I was living kind of with my aunt and uncle in a town near, in between the love of my life where she lived and where her sister and her nephews lived. So it was geographically centrally located, but I was living the majority of the time in this van and showering at the gym that I belonged to, and And that's how I just was like, hey, love will save me. You know, I don't have God, you know, even though he's with me, I'm not with him. So what's going to save me? Love's going to save me. Let's get me something that can save me in love. And I was texting with her younger sister, right, you know, a little while ago. And I said to her in a text, she said, we're going to get out of this together, referring to her pain and my pain. And I appreciate her. And I know she wants that from me. But I told her, I quoted the movie from A River Runs Through It. When Craig Sheffer's character, who was the older brother of Brad Pitt, they were fishing with their dad. And it was right before Brad Pitt got murdered, who happened to have an addiction. And Brad Pitt had a horrible addiction that led to his murder in the movie. And matter of fact, I have that same addiction. That's why I'm homeless. And I was sharing that with my soul sister. And she said, I want you to get out of this with me. You know, we're going to get out of this together. It's not just me. And I said, look, I'm going to quote the movie. So they were fishing. Brad Pitt just caught a beautiful, huge rainbow trout. They're living in Montana. They never left Montana. Craig Sheffer just met a woman named Jessie. They was going to leave to Chicago, and he was going to become a writer for a newspaper in Chicago. They were going to just live a good life. And he looked at his brother and he said, brother, I want you to come with me and Jessie. And he smiled and he laughed because that's just how he rolled. And he said, oh, and he's holding that rainbow. And he said, oh, brother, I'll never leave Montana. And I told her, I told my sister, I said her name and I said, I'll never leave your sister. I'll never get over your sister. I don't want to get over your sister. The only time I'm going to leave your sister is when I leave this body. And she gets it. She gets it because she knows. But the difference between me and her is she doesn't have the privilege to sit in the misery I do. I don't have anyone that depends on me. She has sons. She has a mom. She has the love of my life. She has her big sister. She has another sister. She has a niece. She has her grandma. She has a lot of people in her family, people that love her. A lot of friends. She has a part of a network of people. They need her. She has to get out of this, and she will. God protected her, and God will deliver her, and it's just like that. It's going to be that way. And for me, the odds are I'm gonna leave these videos, and the odds are something's going to happen. I'm either going to get put inside, or I'll have a heart attack, something like that. And I could hit the lottery. I could. And I told her that too. I said, you know what's going to happen if I hit that sucker, and I'm going to be taking care of you and your sister. And she, you know, I mean, wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Like, yeah, I would just break them off, you know. And then there's a couple brothers of mine, a brother of mine that gave me a huge loan back in June when I was in big trouble. He didn't know about my addiction, and he gave it to me out of the goodness of his heart. I'd break him and his fiance off. I mean, it's like that. So I don't want to give up, but I'm just saying the odds are. And then I told her this too. I said, if I ever have the privilege to touch a woman again, because it would be a privilege considering where I'm at and what I've done and where I've been and how I'm living, it would be a privilege. And I'm not just going to touch any woman. It would have to be one heck of a woman. And to be presentable to a woman like that, it's going to have to be, I talked about, you got to be a certain type of man to even touch a woman like that, the kind of woman I want to touch. And it's like that. I don't want to just, and it ain't just about looks. There's all kind of issues involved there. And sex is not important to me like it used to be. And I told her this. I'm over elaborating and I'm getting too serious again. Love of my life would call her and say, he's too serious. And she was right. But anyway, you know, I'm sharing my story. But I told her, I said to her in a conversation when she wanted me to get out of this, and I told her I won't, and I quoted the movie. I said, even if I have the privilege of being with another woman again, all I'm going to think about, it don't matter who she is and when it happens, all I'm going to think about is your sister. And she knows. And that's it. I'm going to try to keep these videos under 10 minutes. I'll be back. Thank you all.